After 50 years of being a fixture in Winnipeg's photography and business community, Photo Central is going to be undergoing some changes. The business is merging with Dawn's Photo here in the city to continue serving Winnipeggers as they preserve life's highlights and capture timeless, memories. Andrew Toews, I'm getting all choked up thinking about this, is the owner of Photo Central, and he joins us in the Classic 107 studios to tell us more about this new chapter. It's great to see you as always.
Likewise. Thank you, Noel.
So what prompted this move for you and your family?
So it's hard to compact that into a small story or a short story.
No, of course.
But, for a long time, I'll just start off by saying that, my faith is really what drives everything I do. Mm-hmm. And I've been trying to use the store as a platform to help others in need however I can, whether that's financially, whether that's giving myself the time and resources to be present for others in organizations or one-on-one, that kind of thing. And that's really been the driving force of me. I'm not a businessman by trade. And life led me to owning a business for various reasons, but it's not my trade per se. And I just found that the business was getting to a point it was going to demand a lot more of my time and a lot more of my resources. And so I was a bit of a crossroads there, whether or not I wanted to go all in again and take the next step in a changing business world, or if I was to just step away in faith and say, okay, it's time to focus elsewhere.
Okay.
And I did.
So business merging with Dawn's Photo, another well-known photography brand and community here within the city of Winnipeg. What will this change mean for the people who frequent the familiar storefront at the corner of Portage and Lipton there?
It shouldn't mean too much. The staff stay the same. And that was something that I can say now that throughout the sale of the business, one of the linchpins was the staff have to stay.
Yeah.
Because they're so highly regarded, both by me and by Dawn's and by the community at large. And so there shouldn't be any significant change, right? Businesses don't typically get purchased because they're unwanted. They're purchased because they're wanted. And Dawn saw something that they wanted, and so they will keep that as best they can. Obviously, there'll be a few little changes in terms of administration, and I've heard the hours change this week by half an hour here or there. So there's a few startling changes, but no, for the most part, the community stays the same. Absolutely, and I'm not privy to all what's going to happen there, but the intent is to make the most of what we had.
It strikes me that as I'm looking more into this merger and this and what the next chapter of Photo Central will be as a part of Dawn's Photo, that there is still very much this sense of serving the community and being a part of the fabric of not just Winnipeg's photography community, but also the larger business community as well. And I've no doubt that the mission to make that community better in so many different ways will continue as well. I'm sure over the last number of months, as you've been contemplating this and as you've been working through this sale, that there have been a lot of memories that have come up for you about the business. What sorts of things have you been contemplating as all of this has been happening?
There are a lot of memories, and some of my earliest memories of a child, of course, comes from the old building back when we were downtown and on Notre Dame, and so I remember of course, the last time I was on, we were talking about the passing of my father. So just pure coincidence that these two things happened at the same time, and so there have been a lot of memories, and I've been just by chance running into old staff members of ours from 20 years ago.
Wow.
And that kind of thing. So there's been a lot coming to the surface. I think it's always about the relationships, though, right? Whether that's business relationships or relationships with customers, that was always something that I wanted in our business and that's what made it special, was that we got to know people, to know people well. And, probably the most bittersweet, of course, is the business is how I met my wife. She was a customer and walked in one day, and we went from there. So,
come on.
So we are unfortunately giving up that moment, that place of our meeting, but we remain. So on we go.
I can't let that drop and not ask a bit more about that moment without getting too much into detail.
Yeah,
What's
she
that
thought
like?
she thought she was buying a camera and ended up with the whole store and a lot more besides. So turned out well.
That's amazing. So we've got those memories. We've got all of these different interactions that you're having when it comes to running this store, which you took over from your father. What is it about operating this kind of store, this kind of community by extension, that you think you're going to miss the most in the coming weeks?
Absolutely, the relationships with the staff. I had a wonderful staff, and when I first took over the business and was involved in business communities, of course, you have all kinds of peers and colleagues. The thing I heard more and more and most often was the hardest part of running a business is dealing with the staff and just all the issues that can come up. And that is very true. There's a lot that can happen within a group of people, and every time somebody can change or relationships change, and exponentially as you add people, things can happen. But the relationships I had with staff were fantastic, and the energy that I was able to put into them, the energy that they put into me, what they were willing to give me of their lives, it's not insignificant. And there are people I was in mentor positions with. There are people who certainly put back into me so much, and I learned a lot about them and a lot about myself through that. So yeah, I miss them, and that was definitely the hardest part of the process, was telling the staff that relationship was changing. And it was a great relief when I was able to tell them, because I'd been holding it for so long. A process like this takes a long time, and unfortunately, it has to remain confidential for most of that time. So it was a relief to be able to tell them, but it was bittersweet.
Yeah. What does this next chapter now hold for you and your family, now that this is all gone through and that this change is being made?
That's a very good question. Unfortunately, for me, and perhaps maybe not, but I can't retire just yet. This isn't just sailing off into the sunset for me. But that would never be my intent anyway. My hope, as I said from the outset, is to be more directly involved in whether it's community or individual relationships with people in need. A very good chance that that's going to settle somewhere on the mental health side, whether in some sort of counseling role or mentorship role. I'm not sure. We'll see what God brings to my life. I'm going to take the next few months off, reassess. Nature abhors a vacuum. I've been busier since I left the business than I was with it, I feel.
Yeah.
There's always things going on, but we will see what comes, and I'm looking forward to it, whatever it is.
Somebody once told me that good work finds busy people, and that strikes me that you're going to be the kind of person who's going to get that into their lives in very, very short order. As you step into this next chapter, what is maybe the lesson or the axiom or the big learning that you're taking away from this huge chapter of your life as you step out, as you say, in faith into that unknown, into that next part?
Always invest in people. Always invest in people. And everything that I have of positive quality, of positive result in my life, has come from getting out of people what I've put in. And I don't say that in any sort of transactional way, but simply to build relationships, to care for those around us. And those relationships will carry you in so many different ways. And hopefully you can also reciprocate that to others. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of the future based on what I put into the past that way, and what lessons I've learned. Hopefully I can pass on to the next generation and those who need it.
It's very beautifully said, to be able to take into the future what you've put into the past, this idea that all the good that you and Photo Central have sown in this community is going to then be taken forward by you into whatever happens next. And I'll add that the contributions that you've made here at Classic 107, be they the cameras literally that are shooting our video interviews to the things that we have been able to do because of your partnership, your friendship over the years have been more appreciated than we have, frankly, time for on the radio. And we're so excited for you and your next chapter. But I'll miss your beautiful radio voice. So if you're thinking about a career in radio, maybe there's something we can carve out for you here. It's been a real honor to be able to hold your name on this show for as many years as it's been here. And we're really grateful for everything that you've done for us and for the community. Thank you, Andrew Toews, for stopping by the Classic 107 studios again to tell us more about this, and a heartfelt congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you, Noel. Much appreciated.